Welcome to the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're live in the brand new BMW of Atlantic City studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. Ralph Delavecchio, Sean Watson with me. Sean's back from San Diego. I'm back from Vegas. Ralph, unfortunately, you had to stay in Jersey over the past 3 weeks. So you were the only one without a vacation.
It sucks.
Whatever, though. A lot of basketball to talk. Tim Duncan's just retired. NBA free agency was obviously insane. Yeah, I'm amazed by the money that's been thrown around at below-average basketball players. Austin Rivers just got $36 million.
Timothy Mozgov.
I mean, the Mozgov deal's bad, but I think that
Evan Turner makes more money than Tom Brady.
Yeah, the Evan Turner deal's pretty bad.
Seriously, that's insane.
That's pretty bad. We're going to break all that down. Free agency's obviously pretty much over with at this point, but I was in Vegas. You were in San Diego. It was all going on, so we never got a chance to talk about it. Going to talk Ben Simmons, some NBA Summer League action. What's your first impressions? I know I was watching a game the other day. His court vision is just
it's insane,
out of this world. BMW of Atlantic City, your sponsor for the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. Right now, you can go to BMW of Atlantic City and lease a certified pre-owned Elite 2016 BMW 320iX Drive at just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience. It's closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get to. Minutes off exit 37 of the Parkway. Online at BMWofAtlanticCity.com. Talking Tim Duncan and his retirement. Our Twitter question is Tim Duncan a top 5 player of all time? And 62% of the people on Twitter, fellas, say that he is.
He's definitely top 10.
I agree.
He's definitely top 10. I don't know about top 5, man, because you got Kareem.
Especially
Will Chamberlain.
If you're not going to break
Russell.
it down, because I think that
he's
the
not
best
top
way to
5.
do it,
He's top 10.
He's top 10.
You've got to separate the big men from the skill players, guys, guards, the small forwards,
Like
positions
Jordan,
like
Kobe,
that.
and all that.
I think you got to kind of make 2 different lists. If you're making 2 different lists, I don't think there's any question he's a top 5 big man of all time. But if you're not making 2 different lists,
the thing is, a lot of people keep on saying that he was a power forward. He's really a center. You understand what I'm saying? Because you had David Robinson right there. You had the Twin Towers, but he's really, because everyone goes, oh, okay, he was a power forward. He's really a center. He's actually born in the league as a center.
He was a power forward when Robinson was there. He obviously did play some center once Robinson left, but I think overall, the consensus when you look at his career is he spent more time at power forward than he did at any other position.
There were two 7-footers.
Right. He's big enough where he could have played in either position, but he spent most of his time and most of his career at the power forward position. I think that's what
Hinkie was trying to do.
What, you think that was what he wanted with Jahlil Okafor?
No. I'm saying I think that's what Hinkie's plan was, bringing all these big men in to kind of duplicate of what the Spurs were trying to do.
Right, because he spent all the years there.
Yeah. I think that's what he was trying to do. And everyone's saying, well, there's too many big men.
Brett Brown spent all the years there.
Right. But I think his plan, Hinkie's plan, was that, kind of duplicate of what the San Antonio Spurs, did. I think that's what his plan was.
Okay,
we'll see what happens.
Duncan's legacy, so what, you think he's top 10,
top
but
10.
maybe not top 5?
No, not top 5.
Ralph?
Yeah, he's not top 5. He's
not top
10,
5.
though.
So what is your top 5? You got a top 5?
In
top
order?
5 big
In
men or
order?
top 5
Oh,
players?
wait, in players.
Yeah.
Okay,
what's your top 5 list then?
Not in order because there's going to be so many debates,
Yeah.
Michael
Jordan, number 1.
Well, you can Michael Jordan.
Kobe's
Michael
2.
Jordan's top 5. Well,
of course, Kobe's 2. You're a Lakers fan.
Yo, to tell you the honest,
Says the Lakers fan.
fellas, to tell you the honest truth,
Magic Johnson.
You might. No, seriously. I know you're a Lakers fan. No, seriously, I know you're a Lakers fan, but you might agree with me, right? Kobe Bryant is borderline a top 5 Laker of all time. Because let's name them, right? You got oh my God, what? Shaquille O'Neal. You gonna where's Shaq at? You gonna put Kobe in front of Shaq?
In his prime, Shaq was a more dominant player than Kobe
No doubt. Shaquille O'Neal.
Crap.
Bro, Shaquille O'Neal has 3 MVPs of finals. I'm being real with you.
And it's kind of like the Jeter argument for with being a Yankees fan over there,
Sean.
Sean.
The A-Rod's better than Derek
all
Jeter.
these people that loved Jeter, and the whole point with that is, Jeter's maybe not even a top 5 Yankee of all time. He's not better than a guy like Ruth. He's not better than Gehrig.
Right.
He's not one of those guys. You know, I mean, the Yankees' history.
Berra.
Yogi Berra. There you go. You know, guy that won 10 World Series. I mean, the Yankees' history is so deep. There's so many great players in their history. I don't even know if he makes the top 5. He's not on the Mount Rushmore of all-time Yankees. So
that's what I'm trying to tell you about the Lakers. And you're a Lakers fan, man. But look, okay, you're gonna put
You got Magic
all right,
Johnson.
Kareem. You got Kareem.
Kareem.
Is he better than Kareem?
no.
Is Kobe better than Kareem?
Yeah, Kareem's better than Kobe as far as careers.
Right. Okay. You're gonna Matt Johnson is
Magic's going to go ahead of him.
Magic's gonna. There's 2.
All right.
You're gonna
Kobe
go.
cracks top 5.
What's that?
Kobe cracks
Kobe
top 5.
cracks the top 5.
Well, so far I got 2.
All right, yeah.
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain played. I mean, he
Chamberlain-
played,
With the Sixers
he played with a
won
couple.
But
yeah, he played with a few
still,
different teams.
Laker, but still Laker.
How much time did he spend with the Lakers? I mean, he didn't spend 20 years with the Lakers.
Yeah, but still, top 5 Laker. I know what you're getting at, but
Yeah.
50 rebounds in a game, is that ever going to happen? 100 points in a
Yeah,
game.
he was playing
is that
against George Mikan, though. Come on, I mean,
But-
George Mikan was the center that he's
but
going up
still 100 points in a game.
against. Yeah. Kobe scored 81, though.
He did, and I watched the game.
You
Yeah.
know, I think it's more
So-
impressive
so-
that Kobe did it than it was Wilt.
Okay, so what you call it? How about what's the name? He's the logo.
Jerry West.
Jerry West.
Yeah.
We
1-7 in the NBA Finals.
1-7 in NBA
Dude,
Finals.
he still
It's
went
good
to
number.
he
That's
still
a stat.
he still went
One
to
and
he
seven.
still went to 8 finals.
stat.
He's
That's
1-7
what
now.
I'm trying to make an argument about about LeBron.
Well, yeah, Shaquille
LeBron-
definitely goes on that list ahead of Kobe.
LeBron, regardless of how everyone slices it,
Yeah.
LeBron been to, 7 finals?
But still,
His skill set's better than
He's
Kobe's
30.
too.
He's 31.
I don't think LeBron's top 5, dude.
No. Well, LeBron's not top 5.
No, he's not.
He's not a top 5 player of all time.
No,
He's
not
going to
yet.
be.
He's going to be, but not yet.
Well, Ralph, he's
I'm-
31. He's been to
Okay.
7
He's
finals.
pretty close at the moment. I mean,
Yeah, he's like a 6 or 7 spot. He's not top 5 yet.
Ralph, he's 31.
I don't know.
And
Hey.
went to 7 finals.
And
He
still
took the
hasn't signed his
Cleveland.
contract
Ralph,
with the
He took the
Ralph,
Cleveland Cavaliers
stop
to
it.
3
Yeah,
finals.
stop it, because if LeBron played for the
he-
Lakers, LeBron's like your
Dude,
second best player
yo,
of all
he
time.
took-
Right.
LeBron's better than Michael if he plays for the Lakers.
He took the
You
Cleveland,
know he
he
is.
took the Cleveland Cavaliers to 3 finals.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers.
What
Yeah.
is he, 1 and 2 with the Cleveland
I
Cavaliers,
mean,
too?
like what?
So to your point, Kobe wouldn't even be on the Mount Rushmore of Lakers.
Of Lakers.
Right.
That's my
crazy.
point.
That's
my point.
arguable.
Crazy.
That's
I'm
arguable.
crazy.
You're
I
What's
just
your Mount Rushmore,
I
Ralph?
just named 3.
Since you're the Lakers
We're not
fan.
done yet. We're not done yet. I just named 3. All right, so we're gonna agree that
Mr. ADD over here is already on
Shaquille
his.
O'Neal. All right. We're gonna say Jerry West.
Shaq really doesn't count because he didn't play his whole career
Listen.
with the Lakers, though, dude. It
Bro,
doesn't count.
come on.
Hey, let's
It
bring it
doesn't
back to
count.
Tim Duncan a little
What do
bit.
you mean? Don't
Let's bring it
count?
back to
It
Tim
doesn't
Duncan a little
count,
bit.
dude.
All right, but we'll stay on this concept.
doesn't count.
Where does Tim Duncan rank on your Mount Rushmore of big men? If we're gonna break it down, big men and skill
big
play,
men?
where's Tim Duncan ranking on that
well,
Mount
see, that's
Rushmore of big
hard.
men? Who's on your
Well,
Mount Rushmore? of big
he's in
men?
my top 5 big men.
He's on the top 5
He's
big men.
big man. Because
Yeah,
if I got him
absolutely.
top 10 all time, he's definitely gonna be in my top 5.
Well, I
big
agree.
men.
He's on my
Yeah.
top 5 big man list.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps him out of my top 5 all-time list is the fact that
How many heads on the Mount Rushmore? 4, right?
4. Yeah.
Okay.
So is he? If you've got
Wilt's one.
if you've got 4
Okay.
big men to pick
Bill
from, is he on that Mount Rushmore?
actually, Bill Russell's 1, Wilt's 2.
Okay.
Well, you got to put
I'll
Bill
go with
Russell
it.
if he has 11 rings in 13 years.
Yeah, well, that's
I
why
mean,
he's number
just,
1.
That's just insanity.
I actually think Shaq's on that big man list too. Again, I think Shaq's
think so?
in his prime. Shaq was the most dominant player I think
no
we've
doubt.
seen.
Shaq's on there, yeah.
Yeah,
Shaq's
so
on there.
Shaq's
No-
got to be
no-
on there,
no
and I think
question.
Duncan's on there. That might be my 4. I actually like that list, Ralph.
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Tim Duncan.
I agree.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it. That's the Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I
I don't know.
agree.
Like the consensus seems to be here at least. Tom, I don't know. We were talking a little bit, before the show, and I think Tom was kind of nodding at me when I said top 10 for Tim Duncan, not top 5. It's hard to make that top 5 list if you're not going to separate big men from skill players.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I think you're just throwing names in a hat and picking them out to make your top 5. There's so many guys.
I
in
mean,
the
like I said
conversation.
earlier, granted, Tim Duncan has 2 league MVPs, which that's excellent, right? 3 NBA final MVPs.
He's got 5
5
championships.
championship rings. I mean, how much?
And he did it with 2. He did. I mean,
Yeah.
he won 2 of them with Robinson, and then he won the other 3 with Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Danny Green.
He was obviously the centerpiece of that dynasty. That big
and they
3.
were unbelievable too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They beat the Heat.
his winning percentage in
Yeah.
19 years
Shouldn't
or
have beat
whatever
him
it was.
back-to-back years if Ray Allen didn't bail out LeBron James.
In Game 6?
His winning percentage in 19 years. I mean, I think it was crazy. They won 60% of their games in all 19 years. At least 60% of the games in all 19 years he spent with the Spurs. No other player in NBA history has done that and had that level of success.
They had the greatest player on the team, and they still had the greatest coach ever.
Yeah, well, that's the other
crazy.
thing. That's interesting because I don't think that's a good point because I don't know if you can talk about Tim Duncan's legacy without talking about Greg Popovich because Popovich had such a big impact on Tim Duncan's legacy.
Coach.
He's the best coach in the NBA.
Top 5 coach of all time.
I don't even think it's close. I mean, as far as him being the best coach in the NBA, and he's been the best coach in the NBA for the better part of a decade.
19 straight seasons with playoff appearance.
Well, a lot of people are going to say Phil being up there, but look at the teams that he,
Well,
look at the teams he went to.
And Greg Popovich started his from scratch.
We're talking about best NBA coaches of all time. It's kind of hard to keep Phil off a list.
Yeah.
Phil's winning
but
championships
he also
with the Bulls and the
he also rolled in the already made beds, man. He didn't have you know what I mean?
True.
But now I'm looking.
And he hasn't been able to build. And he hasn't been able to build his own team.
Yeah.
So far with the Knicks, Popovich pretty much built
from scratch.
You can nail all the GMs there, but Popovich is the one that made that whole thing.
Tony Parker.
Popovich is the one that created that system in San Antonio.
27th pick of the first round. That's insane.
It's the rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're talking Tim Duncan's legacy. Is he a top 5 player of all time? Our Twitter fans seem to say yes. 62% say that he is, and we kind of disagree and think it's fringe, but he's definitely top 10.
And he's definitely top 5 on Mount Rushmore of big men. Out of four.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Top 4 best big men all time, he's top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Mount Rushmore, he's the top big man. You put in your Mount Rushmore big men, I don't think there's any way to keep him off. This NBA free agency thing, I think, affected Tim Duncan's decision to retire, though.
Yeah.
Remember,
I mean, you could see it coming when they signed Pau Gasol to that contract.
He opted into the deal, but then once they weren't in on the Kevin Durant sweepstakes and all that, I think ultimately is what made him make this decision of I'm out. Mm-hmm. It would have been worth him sticking around if he had somebody like Durant or somebody like that to make it look a little easier. That championship becomes it becomes a little bit easier road to the championship if Durant ends up entering the picture with San Antonio. It didn't happen, and I think ultimately he decides, I'm done. I don't need to come back
the fans,
and go through that grind.
They're saying it's another one of them decisions, and they're, you know what I mean? They're all bad-mouthing Kevin Durant. I mean, come on, if you all be real.
It's a great move by him.
But be real.
A great move. It was time for him to be selfish. What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm not a big.
It was a great move by him.
Listen, I'm not about the Warriors and all, but that team is going to be disgusting, and they
should
are,
go 82
and they are going back to the finals. They are going back.
They're going to win multiple championships.
But here's the
right
scoop.
now,
Remember,
and everybody's going to jump on the Warriors bandwagon in June.
Everybody's already on the Warriors bandwagon.
Stephen A. Smith is going to jump on the bandwagon.
But here's
when
the
June
scoop.
rolls around.
Don't mention Stephen A. Smith's name on this show.
I love Stephen.
But here's
I
the
hate
scoop.
Stephen A. Smith.
But here's the scoop.
Bad.
Remember the Dream Team? When they were getting, I mean, Kevin Durant's unbelievable. We all know that, and we already know the Warriors were already an unbelievable team.
I'll take it. I'll take it even more modern comparison. And you look at when the Lakers signed Dwight Howard, when the Lakers brought in Dwight Howard and Steve Nash that year.
Yes.
2012, 2013, whatever it was, and that was supposed to be Kobe making one more run at another championship, and they barely snuck in as an 8 seed.
Yes.
And we got swept that round too.
Ralph remembers that year. That was a brutal year probably for you as a Lakers fan.
We got swept in the first
championship aspirations, and you're an 8 seed that gets swept in the first round. I think obviously a lot of talent on that team, but just maybe too much. There's too much talent and not enough chemistry to go around. I don't know, though, if I see the same situation here in Golden State. I understand the argument that you've got all this talent, you got all these guys, and, plus they're a lot, all of them are similar players, jump shooters, abilities, they're all great scorers, you know what I mean? Is there going to be enough basketballs to go around for all of them?
It's like the Knicks. There's only one rock on the court. You're going to have Melo. We already know he's selfish.
Right.
That guy's a selfish player. All right. Carmelo, you're going to have Derrick Rose. He's going to want the ball. All right.
Derrick Rose,
but he's a shell. You're going to have Noah.
That move's overhyped.
Noah's going to want the ball. I mean, there's only one ball. There's only one ball to go around. I mean, there's some selfish players on that team.
Noah's a defensive player, so I could see, the Noah move. I think is a good move on their part. Noah's going to be a lockdown defender.
And he wanted to go and play with Derrick Rose.
Plus, it's his hometown.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan went and fooled all you fools again. I mean, that's what he did. I mean, his game fools people into not giving him the credit deserved. I mean, you want to talk about take active players out of the equation. right? That guy is a top 5 player of all time. And you got to take other things into this equation. Like, forget what he did on the court, which makes him top 5. 5 rings, played 19 seasons.
World class.
Yeah, X amount of all-star game appearances, right? But off the court, great guy. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, take a locker room guy, an unselfish player that he was, the ability to allow other great players to play with him for that long and to stay somewhere that long and continuously win. Not like Kobe did in L.A. where he won a little bit early on, but towards the later part of Kobe's career, they didn't win. Now, is that Kobe's fault? Management? There's a million different reasons on whose fault that could be. But in terms of Duncan, consistency. And when you're talking about that consistent over that period of time, he's got to be a top 5. And I
So
might
you
have to,
think he is top 5
Yeah, because
all
I
time?
might have to knock somebody out. The more I deep think about it, I might have to knock somebody out. For just in terms of consistency and winning for that long, guys. Like, his stretch of winning went from, the 90s on. I mean, you're talking about
I
guys.
love his shot, though.
He's
3
one of only 2
decades.
players, yeah.
In 3 decades.
Him and John Sally, the only 2 players to win a championship.
I am going
in
to
3
say,
different decades.
one thing I love about Tim Duncan, if we're going to reflect on it, is I love the kiss off the glass.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
Listen, I think he fools all of us because we all forgot about him, me included. So when I say fools, he fooled all of us for years because his game is boring.
Yeah, exactly. It's not flashy.
Yes,
he is the big fundamental.
It's
the
so
perfect
boring
nickname.
that you forget about him. And I think the fact his game being boring actually translated him in being a better player because I think you underestimate a guy like that sometimes.
Tom, now I know you're a fan also, though, of separating the big men from the skill players, that you can't really add. You can't talk about the big men and skill players in the same list as far as when you're ranking players in NBA history. I've heard you mention that multiple times on your show when you're doing agree to disagree with guys like Brian and all that. Is he in that big man list, or because he's a 4, been a 4 most of his career, not a 5, you're putting him with the skill player list?
No, I mean, he's interchangeable 4 or 5. I mean, I don't think he's ever really established position. I think he's a 4 and a 5.
Okay.
I mean, whatever argument you want to make, and to get him in the argument and make it right for you, you have 2 options because he's a 4 or a 5. But in terms of big man, he's a top 5.
Yeah.
And
He's top 4.
Yeah.
And in terms of top 5 all time of guys that are retired, he gets himself into that top 5 class because Jordan's in there, Kobe's in there. I'll give them 2.
You're going to put Kobe Bryant top 5
because I'm going from 80 up.
Well, yeah, and he's
I'm
going
not
retired.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back before what I know.
Yeah.
Right, from what I saw. So I go 80 up. I don't play this whole list of going back in the 60s and 70s because it's irrelevant. Because we don't know. Like, none of us were there. We can watch a highlight so we can watch
So
Darius
you're not
Saric.
saying Chamberlain.
Because I'm taking him out. I'm not counting anything from 80s or before.
But the problem with putting Chamberlain in there, and this is what we mentioned. I mean,
guys our size.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. The guy averaged, 40 rebounds a game or some crazy absurd number? I mean, he averaged, such an absurd number of rebounds. You look at the competition that a guy's like that playing, and it's just, unless you were living during that time, I think it's unfair to kind of sit here
I know what you're saying.
and throw a guy in a list like that.
I know what you're saying.
It's like the arguments we make with the quarterbacks now. Like, we won't put a guy like a Y.A. Tittle in a best quarterback of all time list, or even a Johnny Unitas, because the generation
I know
and
what
the
you're
position
saying.
has changed
and
so much.
This is where Ralph, I'll talk to your language for a second.
We're talking Ralph's language?
Yeah.
What is Ralph's language?
It's like this. You're going to compare Crosby and Ovechkin to Gretzky. Gretzky has 63 NHL records. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gretzky dominated, and he was 5'11", 175 pounds. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was that size, but he was unstoppable back in the 80s, okay? 79, 80s, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Now these guys are you have to be over 6 foot to be in the NHL. You got to be, 200 pounds or whatever. You're not being 5'11", 175 pounds. Them days are over to be dominant in the NHL. It's just over. That's what I'm saying. There's 2 different time frames. Now NHL, you know what I mean? The same thing with the NBA.
That's sports. That's all.
That's why
sports.
you can go. That's why you can go 80 and up.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s
you
is stuff
gotta
that
make a
most of
cutoff
us
for a modern era.
as most of us has seen, and even if you didn't, it's not that far back where you don't know. So that's why I think if you go 80s and up, that's why Kobe's in it. Obviously Mike's in it regardless. But then you have, in my
LeBron's
opinion,
going to be in it.
He's going to be, but
You
talking about
only
guys,
add in retired players.
only retired players.
Retired players.
So Shaq's in that list.
Definitely.
Most dominating player of all time,
Definitely.
maybe. Jordan was the best, but Shaq in terms of dominance, probably the best of all time.
I know you're a huge Shaq
I mean,
fan, right?
you couldn't stop him. He was unstoppable. I mean, the only way you had to stop him is hope he hack a Shaq, and he still would bury him late in games. That's where Shaq got crazy. He wouldn't make them all game, but in big spots, Shaq made his free throws, right, Ralph? I mean, you know that better than any of us. So give me another one. Duncan. So I got Jordan, Duncan, Shaq, Kobe. And 5, I mean, give me names.
Oh, yeah, Karl Malone,
Maybe.
John Stockton.
Maybe.
Stockton. I don't know
Now,
about Stockton.
now I know you're not
Yeah,
going
that
to say
fifth one's
point guards.
hard.
I mean, there's a lot of point guards that I can
What,
name
Isaiah, maybe?
that are Hall
Maybe
of Fame point
maybe
guards.
it's Magic.
Maybe it's
Dude,
Magic.
even all right.
Probably is Magic. 'Cause
I'd have to put Magic
the rings,
ahead of
the
Isaiah.
titles,
Without
I think
doubt.
Magic's in.
Without
I think
doubt.
Magic's the 5.
Maybe,
Yeah.
how about Larry Bird? I mean, it probably comes down to Larry or Magic, right?
Yeah, and I'm doing Larry a disservice here by not putting him in my top
They're
5.
tied for 5th, right?
Because he could there's an argument for him to take Duncan's spot, but there's also an argument for him not to too. So I mean, it's just the way what you see and what you think and what you like. I mean, for us, I'm gonna go more of a modern player that I've seen, and like I said, man, there's got to be something for consistency. I'll let you guys go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that, and I like doing that with all professional sports. It's hard to sit here. I mean, we do it with baseball, too. I mean, we sit here and we talk about, like, the best hitters, and, we don't mention a guy like Ted Williams who played all the way back when, even though he probably, arguably, could be the greatest hitter in baseball history. Last guy to hit 400 and all that. But we just don't look at names like that anymore because we're looking from a certain time period up. This generation, we make a cutoff now in professional sports a certain year up. That's the modern era that we consider, and we look at the best players from the modern era. And, like, it seems like we kind of exclude players from before those eras because we just maybe, I guess, didn't watch them or whatever, so it's hard for us to put them in that list.
But if you're saying but you gotta make a note saying that it's the best players of this era that you saw.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go all time, like my grandpa.
Yeah, he's going to start bringing up George Mike and names like
my
that.
grandpa's
He's going to crush your list.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to crush that he saw. He's going to say
Oscar.
Yeah, he's going to say,
Oh,
"Come
that's
on,
a good name there.
Come on, Sean. Basketball is soft right now." Though he's going to bring up that point. Basketball is soft
I
now.
agree with him there, but yeah.
Compared to what he saw back in the day when these guys were throwing bows up.
True. The Knicks can tell you everything.
Bill Laimbeer could
back
not play
in the day.
in today's NBA. Bill Laimbeer would be like he'd be getting fined and suspended so often for the types of flagrant fouls and stuff that he'd be called for.
Now let's change it. How about top 5 point guards?
Well, we can get into that conversation when we get back. We'll continue this Tim Duncan legacy talk. We're going to get into the more NBA free agency, and we want to talk Ben Simmons and your first impressions of Summer League. And, Ralph, we'll even let you give your first impressions of Brandon Ingram and the Lakers Summer League since they actually played each other last week. This is the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're brought to you by the Philly Sports Bar, 31 South Black Horse Pike, Runnymede, New Jersey, 856-939-4322. Email info@phillydiner.com. Visit the website, www.phillydiner.com.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Martino Roofing. With more than 15 years of roofing experience, they have all the services that you need, whether it's new construction, tear-offs, replacements, or re-roofs for your residential or commercial business. They will provide a detailed service in a timely and professional manner. So you can give them a call for a free consultation at 609-792-51 5103. Send them an email at martinoroofing@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.martinoroofingllc.com. The number again is 609-792-5103. Martino Roofing.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and founder of HUDRadio.com. What if I told you I knew the best caterer in the business? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's Obie's Catering. You can contact Obie's Catering at cateringbyobi@yahoo.com or give Chris O'Brien a call at 856-534-8410. From graduations to wedding rehearsals to just if you need food cooked in your house. He'll do it all. He's trying to change the world one dish at a time. That's Obie's Catering. Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tommy A from HUDRadio.com sent you, and you'll get 20% off.
HUDRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
It's the Rundown on A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, on the campus of King's Christian High School. Give John and Mike Scanzano a call at 856-889-3434. Visit their website, www.scanzanosports.com. Beautiful, giant, 35,000 square foot hitting facility in there. So, I mean, you know, of course, if Ralph, I know you're in a men's baseball league.
Yep.
Got a playoff game tomorrow. You know where to go to practice. Scanzano Sports Center. Get those extra dry hacks in the morning of, you know, before you go to play that game.
Ralph, I'm going over there. Well, I got to leave this show early, so you want to come over and get some hacks later?
Yeah, there you go.
Let me build you up over here.
I'll go. I don't care.
They're used to, they got men's softball players that come in there every morning. So, I mean, you won't be alone. Maybe you'll see Bill Sampolsky in there. Get to have some, you know, people to practice with. You know,
Yeah,
get somebody to throw BP to you.
I'll come. I'll definitely do that.
Because this is obviously a big game where we had to move the rundown to Tuesday.
It is.
Because it was such a huge game that, you know, you had to make sure you made it tomorrow.
Gotta make it.
What position do you even play again?
Either a designated hitter or first base.
Designated hitter or first base.
Are you trying to be like Ryan Howard?
I know. So he's David Ortiz. He's got no defense. He just sits in there and rakes.
Yeah.
What are you hitting?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you're not one of those guys.
Nah,
You don't keep
I don't
track
look
of your
for
batting
stats.
average.
Nah.
Oh,
Are you a fastball hitter, or are you like a Ryan Howard with the changeup,
can't-
the curveball,
I don't
slider?
Know, it
a good
depends.
hitter always keeps track of his batting average.
Yeah, I
right?
know,
A good
I
hitter
know, I
always
would.
has a little bit of ego.
Yeah.
It depends.
So what you're telling me is you're not a good hitter. That's why you don't really care. You don't pay attention to it.
Nah, I get on base sometimes.
You're a liar. I don't believe you.
No, let me ask you guys a question about this Florida Marlins
Yeah, what happened with the Florida Marlins?
advertisement before the home run derby.
You mean the Miami Marlins?
The Miami Marlins.
Whatever. Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins, whatever they want to
Still in
call
Florida.
themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Miami Marlins organization put out an ad saying before the home run derby on how many home runs Stanton hits, and the number he hits is going to be the number that they're going to issue for a percentage off of tickets. They didn't think he was going to hit 61.
So they're going. So they're not going to give 64% off?
They're going back on their word. So say having tickets. No, it's bullcrap. Say having the tickets are like $30.
Oh,
just
man.
say you go get.
Should be like
First of all,
No one goes
nobody
anyway.
goes to their games anyway.
So they should just own up to it and then have people go for $10
Yeah,
tickets.
exactly.
Because it's going to be
Stop
about 10.
selling them like Trenton Thunder tickets.
They are that organization. I'm telling you, it's terrible, bro.
They built a new
So
stadium
say
for
happen.
nobody
We'll just
to come.
say happen if you can go to a game for $30.
It's almost like the Washington Nationals.
61
Nobody
worse.
shows up.
Six-
Yo,
worse.
61%, right?
Yeah.
Off. It'll be what? $10. It'll be about like $10. 61.
$5 to $10.
Worst ownership group in
Yeah.
all of baseball is
Dude,
the Miami
horrible.
Marlins.
Horrible.
The only organization that could build a brand new stadium and still only like 15,000 people a game show up. And first of all, that stadium is a train wreck. The fact that the All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby is taking place there next year is an absolute disgrace and a disaster. The fact that they ripped down the Orange Bowl to build that piece of crap is completely disgraceful.
I'm
to
glad I
professional
brought this
sports.
up because I knew it was going to
ridiculous.
I knew it was going to get you going.
Now, Tom, that is a place, if you gave me free All-Star Game tickets, and I would either had a choice to either attend or sell, I am not going to the Miami Marlins train wreck of a stadium with that fountain and aquarium or whatever it is out in center
That's
field.
the best thing
I am
out
not.
there.
No, I am not having any part of that. I'm selling those tickets all day.
You're going to be at the
Stadium
bar.
Sucks.
You're going to be at the bar in Florida, right?
I'll go to Miami just because it's Miami, but I'm not going to the All-Star Game of the Home Run Derby at that place. It's
Yeah.
a train wreck.
Have you been there?
I don't need to be, and I'm not traveling 3,000 miles to go. So I've seen enough of it on TV.
Well, no, people. I mean, people actually like it. I mean,
Do they
I've
really?
heard good reviews about it. Actually,
Wow.
that's a nice
The
bar.
green walls.
I mean,
The
nobody's
lime
there,
green
so there's
No
no
one's
li-
there.
I
There's,
guess.
there's no liveliness to the freaking place.
seven-
And there's probably not a bad
7,000
seat.
people there or
You can
something?
probably sneak down and sit anywhere you
The
want.
Braves got more attendance than the Marlins.
You know, the Braves are building their new stadium up in the rich areas, like
Yeah,
you know,
'cause
north
that's
of,
where all the fans are.
north of Fulton County, up
Yeah,
like 30 minutes
the
north of Atlanta.
27 of them, right, Ralph?
Well, like that's where all the money's at. So they're thinking, all right, we're going to build it up in this area where all the money's at. You know, because apparently that's what like 60% of their
Well,
fan
Zach,
base
they're
comes
making it
anyway.
into a resort, is what they're doing.
Yeah, I know.
mean,
They
it's
pretty
almost
much
like an
are.
all-inclusive, and you
Yeah.
get the Braves included. I mean, that's how it is. It's more like, lay under a freaking palm tree, soak in some water, have a couple cocktails, and the Braves are included in your deal. I mean,
Well,
that's almost how they're offering
When
it.
you get 40 minutes north of Fulton County, where they want to build all the stadium, where like the big metro area is at, and all the people travel from that area, the big money people travel from that area to come to the games, they figured out that's where a lot of their season ticket holders are at. So they want to put the stadium up there, hoping it'll help affect attendance. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been there, and you say you've heard good reviews from people. Maybe it's just I've got, my aunt was a professor at the University of Miami back in the day, a University of Miami graduate, and maybe I'm salty about the Orange Bowl being destroyed to build that piece of crap on. But yeah, no, I wouldn't attend a game.
The
there if
Braves
you
need
paid
Bobby
me.
Cox to come back. That's the only way they're going to be
Isn't
good.
he in their front office? I thought he was in their front office.
I don't
I'll
know.
tell you what, I would like to go to a Heat game or like a Dolphins game. I would do that.
It's Miami. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with going, someplace in Miami. I mean, I'll go to
Shit,
one of the
I'll
bars.
rollerblade.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go to one of the bars on Miami Beach just to be there to watch the games and party.
Yeah.
You see the type of models and women that Jaromir Jagr's pulling down there. I mean, he plays for the Panthers down the Florida Panthers, like the most irrelevant sports franchise.
Dude,
probably
speaking
down
of
there.
Yarmer Yager, did you hear what happened to him?
I
He
didn't.
he was laying in
Did
bed.
he get
and-
blackmailed by another hot girl?
No, what did you hear? Yeah, that's what it was. This girl was in bed.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's kind of
Lying
old,
next to him,
but
yeah.
lying next to him. And
That's
she
what I'm
said,
talking
She
about.
said, what did she say? Give me money, give me like $5,000 or something like that, and I won't put this picture. He goes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Why
Why do I care?
Put the picture online. That's fine, because all they're going to say is, look at Yarmer
Yeah.
Yager, 40-something years old,
I'm
with
40
with
I'm
a 21-year-old, you know?
I'm 45, sleeping with 21-year-old Czechoslovakian models.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to judge me.
He goes,
If anything, they're going to
he
judge
goes,
you.
he goes, go right ahead. Put it on social media. I don't care, you know?
He's so OG. He's so phenomenal.
He wasn't going to give her no money.
I actually thought he was going to leave and go sign somewhere else in free agency because why would he want to play there? They don't even care about the franchise down there. But why would you want to leave there? You're 45 and you can sleep with any piece of ass you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Miami. It's phenomenal. He's thinking smart. He's 45. This is like his retirement now. He's just going to live down there and play his final years in the NHL down there and have as much fun as possible. I'm digging it. I think he's phenomenal. My favorite player in the NHL since he's come back is Jaromir Jagr.
Oh, and you want to what? He's putting up 25 goals
He
still.
is too. He can still
He's
kick ass.
still putting the puck in net. He's 45 years old and still doing his thing.
We'll use this Miami thing to segue back in the NBA free agency because one of their I don't not a native son, but he spent his whole career there in Dwayne Wade. Now going back home, the native son of Chicago, now going back home to play for the Bulls and finish off his career there. I was a little bit surprised by it. I understand it.
He
makes
wanted
sense.
a Kobe contract.
Yeah, well, he obviously wanted his money, but I can understand him also. I mean, listen, the Nuggets offered him more money than the Bulls did, but he obviously wasn't going to go to Denver. So he was going to leave Miami for the right place. And apparently Chicago, the hometown.
I thought he was going to go.
Interested in going back.
I really thought he was going to go to Cleveland with LeBron.
Yeah, that was
what I thought he was gonna
That
do.
was intriguing. That the whole idea. It seemed like
And
that would
LeBron
make
still
sense.
hasn't signed yet. So.
But then you look
He's
at
gonna
it.
sign.
But then you look at it
No,
like
he
this.
won't.
But then you look at it.
Hold on. Where's he
He's
going to
gonna
sign?
sign.
Then, Ralph? Where's he
He's gonna
signing
sign.
with? He's
Who?
going to the Lakers.
LeBron.
He just bought a new house out in Los Angeles. Here's Ralph's conspiracy theory.
Wait, say this again.
LeBron hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, he's saying LeBron doesn't sign with Cleveland,
Get
so
outta
he's going
here.
to not re-sign there.
He's not going to do that.
No, I love Ralph's conspiracy theory, though, because he did just buy a brand new mansion out in
Yep,
Los
out in
Angeles,
LA.
and he's spending a bunch of time there.
Number 23.
Yo, you're the same guy that hated
LeBron James.
Yo, hold on a
Yeah, I
second.
know.
Time
Exactly.
out.
He's
Time
such a
out.
hypocrite.
I
Time
hate
out.
LeBron if he's not on my team.
No, stop it right now. Because that whole finals, I had to look at my whole news feed of you bad-mouthing LeBron James, and he
Yeah.
came back.
You're a LeBron
being
hater.
Being down 3-1, came back and proved you wrong.
You're a LeBron hater, and the only athlete you love more than LeBron is Ryan Matthews. So,
I don't like LeBron. Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin's
yeah, I'd say I'll give you
Alex
that. Yeah,
Ovechkin.
yeah,
Not
that's
LeBron.
true.
I just think LeBron's a great player. I really do. I just think the guy's.
Who's your favorite? Who do you love more, Alex Ovechkin or Ryan Matthews?
Oh, come on, man. Ryan Matthews.
Look, has to go with
You can't put the man in that spot.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
I know.
This is like when I tried to put him in the spot.
Alex Ovechkin, my favorite player in all sports, and Tom Brady. I like Tom Brady.
We were having a segment on the Rundown about a month ago where we were trying to pick, the hottest.
Moms.
No,
the
it was
bang.
no. I think it was the sisters. We were trying to
Yeah.
find the hot sisters of professional athletes and pick the hottest sisters, and he refused to be a part of it or pick it all because apparently Trisha was listening. So
No, I wasn't doing
you're a
that.
sellout.
No, I wasn't doing that, bro.
So how was San Diego? I know you went out there.
It was.
Did Ryan come with you out there? Or
He
Ryan's-
lives out there.
He lives out there,
Yeah.
but did he have to stay in town, obviously, for the Eagles and training camp and practice and all that? Or did he get to make his way out there with you?
What do you mean?
Did Ryan come out to San Diego with
He
you?
was already out there.
He's already out there?
I stayed at his place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So what, like he was taking a break from the OTAs or whatever that's going on?
There's no OTAs going on.
Not yet.
No, that's
He goes back. Yesterday, it's 2 weeks from yesterday. The Eagles have.
they don't have to be around the complex though. Like, they're not like they're working out or whatever, even though they're not practicing.
He's back in Philly the 24th.
Okay.
He's back in Philly.
Okay.
I think the 27th they start.
Yeah, something like that.
27th they start.
I mean, a lot of these guys don't
But
stick around.
but they
work
gotta-
out on their own.
Right, exactly.
They got to come. Like he has to come back a couple of days before because you get jet lag and you got to get used to
Listen,
the time
if I'm
frame.
Ryan, I'll go to San Diego and spend the whole offseason there working out. I'm not going to sell my property out there.
Bro, he don't want to come here. You know what I mean? He wants to. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want? Like
Well, yeah,
me.
well, no,
I just came back and I'm just like, oh, dude.
To
I'm
Tom's
back here.
point-
You
Yeah,
know,
right
Tom-
now, every time I come back from
I'm like-
Florida or
I'm
anywhere,
like, I'm back
same way.
here. Yeah, yeah.
You're like, oh, why do I live here?
yeah,
Exactly.
But then you leave here, and it's like you're going to miss here. That's how good for anybody to know who
Yeah,
left. It's,
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
To
I
Tom's
agree.
point, nobody stays in the town or the city that they play in to work out in the offseason. They all go to Miami or out in Arizona or out their place like San Diego. They all go to one of those places to work out and spend the offseason training because, I mean, obviously, you're a professional athlete. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you
Right.
go spend 3 months of your offseason on Miami Beach working out, hanging out, having as much fun as possible until you got to come back and become serious again.
Right,
I would.
right.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Donovan used to go out to what was it, Phoenix down in Arizona every year.
He has
and
a house
work
out there, yeah.
Yeah, now he lives out there full time.
Do you
He
remember?
spent
Remember
every
that?
offseason.
You'll probably remember this. Do you remember that the week of the NFC Championship game, the Cardinals fans they threw stuff on like Donovan's yard and stuff like that. Like
Well,
they
egging
like
his house
they
and
like
stuff?
trashed. Yeah, dude. It was like the week of the NFC. It was 2008, and I guess they were trying to play mind
We
games.
should have
on
won
him,
that
but-
game.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
One of the many games we
Dude, when
Gave
Deshaun
away.
Jackson beat Dominic Roger-Cromartie for that touchdown, that bomb, when it tipped the ball up and caught
Yeah.
it, and he started dancing in the back of the end zone, I thought that was it. We were up by 1 point. Dude, we needed one stop on third down.
I know.
Dude, we
Listen,
needed
I
one
know.
stop.
I was a freshman in high school.
we were
when I saw
going to
that
the
whole thing
Super
coming.
Bowl, bro.
I just
One stop.
I felt the bad karma. I just felt bad karma. I was like, here we go. I was like,
And
watch,
I think,
the
and I
Cardinals
think,
are
to
somehow
tell you the
gonna
truth,
upset us
to
here.
tell you the truth, I think there's a good chance that we could have beat the Steelers there, even though they won the Super Bowl. I think that that could have been just by the momentum, man. One more stop, we get the ball back. We're going to the Super Bowl. I think we could have upset the Steelers. I
That would be
do.
crazy,
I would
I
have liked
do.
a second chance at it. I would have hoped that, I would have hoped that, the second chance, maybe the nose a little bit better, and maybe if we need a clutch play at the end of a game, in a close game, we're going to get one there.
I think just everything that was a part of that, too. I mean, we were a good football team, but we came out a little bit, not really out of nowhere, but we weren't expected to go that far. I believe we were a wild card team.
Yeah, and they got hot.
Well, we got in on the last day because
Yeah.
we needed like 3 teams to lose. We needed to beat the Cowboys 44-6.
Everything got in was getting in weird, and that team just carried some momentum. And then when you get to the NFC Championship, you're playing with house money, essentially.
Yeah.
And to take that lead, and, everybody blames Donovan way too much around here. That defense, like Sean said, couldn't get off the field.
Couldn't get off the
field. And that's the first time through that little error where you could point finger right at the defense and say, you guys were the reason we didn't go to the Super Bowl that year.
It was 3rd and long, too.
Well, they were so young.
It was 3rd and long.
They were so young and talented, especially on offense.
I don't know. It was just a broken play. I mean, I'm going back and going, what if? I mean, it stinks that I'm saying this, but it is. I mean, look. Granted, I went to the Redskins game before that, the week before that, and I believe it was Jason Avant when he first started, right? Jason Avant caught a ball on the 2-yard line. Andy Reid was out of timeouts.
Yeah, well,
caught the ball out of timeouts. Clock's running. Ran out of time. We couldn't get the ball up and snap it.
Yeah, but that was the Andy Reid trademark by that point, right? I mean, that long into his tenure, that's what was frustrating us about his whole thing.
It was like 13-9.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, I mean,
that's what frustrated us about the whole shtick at that point.
We needed to get in the end zone, and we had no timeout.
We knew Andy was a good coach.
Oh, it was terrible.
But 12 years into it, what was frustrating us at that point
was 2 minutes
was
left on the
things
clock.
like that.
And the week before that, the Eagles and Redskins game that we lost, we tied the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that was another bit.
And that's when Don McNabb said, I didn't know that, you know what I mean?
Well,
exactly. I wonder what happens in the playoffs.
Tom's point with Tom's right where Donovan gets way too much hate, but why does Donovan get the hate he does? Because of things like that.
Yeah,
because people, especially in this city, the sports fan bases in this city, I mean, this is the town that still, we hate Ryan Howard with a passion, which is ridiculous as all get out.
Bro.
But we hate him with a passion.
It's crazy.
I mean, Mike Schmidt went through it for all the years that he played here in Philadelphia. For some reason, we don't know how to treat stars properly. But the reason this fan base hated, the people that hated Donovan, it was less about what he did on the field and more like stuff like that. Well, I didn't have any idea you could tie in the NFL. Like, dude, how long have you been, around the NFL? Like, there's been ties in the NFL
I'm not even
forever.
We're not even professional athletes, and we would know that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was the type of stuff that would frustrate, I think that got the fans that wanted to hate on Donovan. That's the type of stuff that frustrated.
Yeah.
Overthrowing a wide open wide receiver 50 yards down the field
and how many times
laughing about
how many times and you got to keep
frustrating
going, my bad. Every time you threw, you know what I mean, you killed a lot of worms and dirt.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that stuff never bothered me though.
I know.
I think this is what we do wrong with our athletes is facial expressions and other things they do that just aren't meaningful.
I'm not saying we should
I
hate
always
them.
looked at Donovan, and when it came to Donovan, it was always what you did on the field. And the guy was a gamer. The guy did so many great things. He changed the quarterback position, him and Vic, to now.
Absolutely.
And the guy was you couldn't bring him down.
Steve
he
McNabb
just
was
did
in that
so many
conversation.
things. And I think when we
They
got
all
in his
part
head
of
as
it.
a fan base about being a pocket passer, I think that's what
It killed and ruined him.
I think it affected
ruined him,
Donovan.
bro.
He could throw for 300 yards if you wanted him to, but he could also run for 100. And when you took that away from him,
especially early in his career.
you took
His
away
first few years before he broke his leg.
the lethal weapon that he was, and a big part of his game that I don't think we should have ever really, as a fan base, put the pressure on him to take away. Because we care too much about all the extra shit.
Yeah.
And
what hurt Donovan was when he torn his ACL against the Tennessee Titans on the sideline.
That hurt, but
because then he had to put on the 10 to 15 pounds, and like you said,
The
Andy
broken-
Reid needed to make him as a pocket passer.
Well, the
and all,
broken leg
Yeah.
against Arizona, though, in 2002 really hurt him, too, because that was the first time we saw him really
threw 6 touchdown passes.
But that was the first time we saw him make the effort. The next year in 2003, you could clearly see him making the effort to be more of a pocket guy.
Yeah.
Rather than using his legs when the opportunities presented themselves. Because it wasn't so much that he was a guy that he would, you called designs runs with, but in his first few years in the league, if the opportunity was there, you left a gaping hole or something, he'd step right up in that hole and go run for 15 yards and get you the first down. Instead of getting down, he might actually run you over or whatever because he was 240 pounds and he could run over a safety because you were no match for him. Stuff like that was so exciting about him, the dual threatness that was so exciting about him from 99 to 2002. Once he broke his leg against Arizona, you could really see him starting to make that effort, the deliberate effort to say, I'm going to stay in the pocket for as long as I can and become the pocket guy. I think Andy obviously had part to do with it. Andy wanted him, tried to design it around, we want you to stay more in the pocket. I don't think Andy would have ever had a problem with how active or how mobile he was. But I think it was a group effort on the coaching staff's part along with Donovan to try to turn him into more of a pocket guy. I don't know. I mean, I think.
And how about for an example, how about the 11-second run back and forth against the Cowboys when he threw the bomb down there to Freddie Mitchell?
A play like that was later on in his career where in 2004, that was a time where he started using his legs more to extend plays, like a Ben Roethlisberger type, to extend plays and get as much time as he needed to find the open man downfield. Whereas maybe earlier in his career, 2000, 01, he might, instead of running around for 11 seconds trying to find somebody downfield to throw to, he's going to take off and run with that at some point. And that was the difference. But to Tom's point, I think where Tom nails this head on, nails it right on the head as far as, the people, this fan base, forgetting a lot of the good things he did.
Right.
And
negatives.
And
I don't know how people can hate Ryan Howard.
They zone in on, for example, they're zoning in on play. I talk to fans about it to this day, and Tom knows I'm not the biggest Donovan fan. He's the greatest quarterback in Eagles history.
He definitely is.
You know what I mean? I give him his due. I'm not. I try to stay neutral about it. I'm not one of these guys that's like all Donovan up and a Donovan lover. But I also don't. I try not to be a Donovan hater because that's not fair either. But I talk to people still to this day that talk about that Super Bowl and the play with Brian Westbrook on the wheel route down the sideline where he's wide open in the end zone and Donovan overthrew him, and apparently he comes to the sideline and Andy asked him what happened, and the whole report was Andy asked him what happened and he says, the wind took it, and Andy's like, come on dude, we're in Jacksonville, there's no wind here, he was wide open, it was the perfect play call, we got to have that touchdown.
I agree.
And Donovan overthrew him a little bit. People will look at plays like that and be like, remember when he missed Westbrook in the end zone? Yeah, remember when he also set the record for most consecutive completions in a single game where he was 18 for 18 to start a game or whatever? And that at the time was the record for consecutive completions to start a game. But we won't remember things like that because we want to remember things like, him missing a throw in the Super Bowl.
All the negative stuff.
We also forget that he threw for close to 370 yards in that Super Bowl or whatever, too.
Oh, Terrell Owens had 140 yards receiving against
on
the
a
Patriots
broken ankle.
On 3 screws in his leg.
Yeah, stuff like
Bill
that.
Bill Belichick after the game admit we didn't have a solution for Terrell Owens. We didn't have a solution for 81.
But
they didn't have a fix for him.
But that explains our fan base. Why do people hate on Ryan Howard? Why will people not remember the 4 years, him being one of only 4 players in baseball history to have at least 4 consecutive years of 45 homers and at least 130 RBIs, being with Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, and Sammy Sosa is the only other 3? Think about that. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Babe Ruth, Ryan Howard, the only 4 players in Major League history at this point to have 4 consecutive years of 45 home runs and 130 RBIs. Yet instead of remembering that and him helping us win a World Series, we just want to remember all the strikeouts and stuff that he's had in the last 4 years of his career.
He got two league MVPs, right?
Yeah. Howard's had 1. He won it in 06.
I'm thinking of Rollins. I'm thinking of Rollins too.
Yeah,
Jimmy Rollins did it.
Well,
Howard
he's another one.
They did back to back, right? Wasn't it Rollins and Howard? That's what I was thinking of, back to back.
But
Rollins is hated too.
He's another one, right? Rollins, he couldn't hustle, he wouldn't do this, he wouldn't do that. The guy's probably a borderline Hall of Famer when you look at his numbers from a shortstop.
But if he doesn't make that dive and stop,
he is a Hall of Famer
against the Nationals.
Oh, no doubt.
But I don't know if in this generation he's going to get in.
Remember he hit a cycle?
Yeah. When you look at his numbers,
oh my God.
When you look at his numbers, he's the no doubt Hall of Famer at the position.
No doubt. And you know what's unfortunate? Look, the thing about Donovan,
him and Barry Larkin.
And you would know at the time. You would know this. For a quarterback to be in the Professional Football Hall of Fame, you have to throw for over 40,000 yards. Donovan has 37.
Yeah.
So that's where they're saying that he's a borderline because
French,
You know what I mean? He was 3,000 yards away from being he's locking the Hall of Fame with the 5 NFC championships.
And that's where the Super Bowl comes in. If he wins the Super Bowl, he goes from fringe to Hall of Fame.
Right.
Because he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he won't get in.
I agree.
And I think the other thing that's going to keep him out is the fact that he never threw for 4,000 yards in a season. In a generation, in an era where everybody was throwing for 4,000 yards.
But you got to look at the rushing, too, then.
I get that.
You have to take in that factor, rushing touchdowns.
But by 06.
The same thing with Cam, bro. The same thing with Cam.
But Cam threw for 4,800 yards.
Yeah, but now you're comparing it 10 years after.
No, I got you.
Now it's made to throw.
No, but to the point.
It's made to throw.
Back with Donovan, it was getting to that point. Guys threw, but you still ran the football.
They're watered down. You're saying it's watered down stats.
Yeah, now all you do is slam.
But still, that was the time. The early 2000s. 2000s was the time where everybody was starting to throw for 4,000. In 2002, yeah, he was still a runner, but by 07,
Breeze was actually really taking off with that.
Look,
bro.
he had his best. Donovan had his best year as a passer in 2008. By that point, he was no longer a guy that was going to scramble around and was running for 500 yards in a season. He had become a pocket passer at that point. And that's what I'm saying. Like by the tail end, in the second half of his career, he had become the pocket passer, and he still didn't throw for 4,000 yards in a season. I get it. There was more to our offense than that, but that's going to be one of those main arguments that's going to keep him out because of all the quarterbacks in that decade, in that time period that were throwing for 4,000 yards. And mind you, quarterbacks that threw for 4,000 yards that probably weren't as good of quarterbacks as Donovan was, but they just happened to be in a system that allowed them to throw for 4,000 yards.
And keep in mind, you have, I'm going to give you two guys right now. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Brian Westbrook, Don McNabb. They had the same screen game going on.
The best
They
1-2
had the
punch.
Same, I mean, just look at it. You know what I mean? Look at these quarterbacks. And look, majority, they were all healthy. Marshall Faulk was healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brian Westbrook.
Brian Westbrook, for me, is the most important player, member of that offense.
But that screen game dominated the early 2000s.
Yep.
The 99 when Kurt Warner won the Super Bowl. I mean, it was great
Greatest
to see.
show on turf.
Greatest show on turf.
It helps when you have Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and guys like that, too. I mean, Marshall Faulk's a Hall of Famer, but, all of that stuff can matter. I mean, that was one of the greatest teams, one of the greatest offenses we'd ever seen. It's the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. We'll come back with Ben Simmons' conversation and first impressions of NBA Summer League. We're brought to you by the Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, go to 703 Black Horse Pike, Glendora, New Jersey, 856-939-2030. Email sportsoutletnj@comcast.net. Visit the website, www.sportsoutletinc.com.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of real talk, A2DRadio.com.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and operator of A2DRadio.com and host of Agree to Disagree. If I want to go check out a ball game, there's no better place than the Philly Sports Bar located 31 South, Black Horse Pike in Runnymede, New Jersey. With over 40 plasma and HD TVs, a brick oven, a two-story deck, the sports bar has surpassed everyone's expectations. From the one-of-a-kind sports memorabilia to life-size sports figures, the bar stays true to its name. The Philly Sports Bar will provide quality service along with outstanding variety of the finest liquors and well-known beers in a family-friendly environment while remaining true to what they are, the best darn sports bar. That's the Philly Sports Bar, located in Runnymede, New Jersey.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey guys, Rob Povia here from Fantasy Dominance Now and the Hockey Happy Hour here on A2DRadio.com. And I got a quick question for you. Is your home in need of remodeling? Well, contact Harry's Contracting at 609-638-6336. That's 609-638-6336. Harry Ernst is the owner, and he's fully insured and licensed. And his prices are so low, you'll think he's insane. Mention A2D Radio, and you get 15% off the estimate. And if you give Harry the job, tack on another 5% off for a total of 20% off the job. That is insane. Contact Harry Aarons at 609-638-6336 or email him at mrmustang02@verizon.net. Harry's Contracting. Insane home improvements.
Welcome back to the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. My microphone is all of a sudden falling away from my face. I don't know what happened here, boys. But we got into a little Eagles conversation. Got a little ADD on it like we tend to do, but, no harm, no foul. I got to switch this out. You guys see me struggling over here. Look, that's why he told me to switch microphones. See, I'm stupid. Here we go.
So, yeah, I just think that the whole, Jack brought up a good point before we went to break with, the St. Louis Rams in 1999 with the Torrey Holt, the Isaac Bruce, the greatest team on earth. I just think that whole game with the screen game,
changed the whole way to football.
It was unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
You
Because
couldn't stop it.
Because you had the Marshall Faulk, that screen game.
Mm-hmm.
It was dominant. Okay, so the Eagles wanted to get that blueprints back in the early 2000s and have B. West, because B. West was kind of like a player, just like, he wasn't Marshall Faulk, a Hall of Famer,
but to that point,
yeah,
He was a lower level Marshall Faulk.
and as I brought up, right before we went to break, for me, Brian Westbrook was more important to the Eagles' offense than any other player during that time. He's what made that offense go. If you don't have Brian Westbrook in that offense, the offense was not going to be as dynamic. It was not going to be as good as it was.
Right.
Because Donovan lost a huge weapon. That was Donovan's probably biggest weapon outside of T.O. during that whole time.
And that's when Donovan tried to get him the big payday instead of Terrell Owens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
that was like a sore subject in the Eagles locker room.
And one of the other things I didn't bring up when we were talking about Donovan earlier was, another reason Donovan, the people that are Donovan haters in this city and that don't like Donovan. Well, we took Donovan and all these things. You talk, overthrowing somebody and laughing, and I can understand why it would bother some people. I can understand why it won't bother some people. You know what I mean? But that type of stuff got focused on too much. But this was my point where he didn't help himself with some of this, especially in a city like this, where already a rough fan base to begin with. Remember in what was it, after the 2007 season or something, he comes out talking about, I need playmakers, and and they need to give me some playmakers. It's like, Donovan, you helped run one of the only playmakers you ever had out of town in T.O.
Yeah.
You've had T.O. and Brian Westbrook. You're two playmakers, and you helped run one of them out of town.
For 1 year.
And now you're going to sit here on the microphone at the end of a season and say, well, I need playmakers. You had playmakers.
And then
this guy's still kicking ass in Dallas, our main
I
rival,
know.
and you're talking about needing playmakers.
I know.
So, stuff like that.
I hated that.
The people that were maybe, borderline like this on Donovan were like, I don't,
You want to know something?
It wasn't the play that pissed people off. It was the stuff that he would say will piss people
right,
off.
or the perceived attitude that he had about certain things. Just like the people that perceived he was a prima donna.
And I knew you weren't a fan of him. I knew you didn't like DJ. But can you imagine if T.O. stuck around and you had Deshaun Jackson and Terrell Owens?
Well, I think Deshaun Jackson becomes a better wide receiver.
That would just be unbelievable watching that.
I think T.O. helps groom Deshaun Jackson and makes him more of a complete receiver.
It would be
and
crazy.
teaches him how to actually be a complete receiver rather than a one-trick pony.
We might not even draft Macklin if that happened.
Nope.
We might not even draft at Macklin if that happens. Think about that.
By the time we drafted Macklin, T.O. was on his way out anyway.
We would have had. Listen.
By the time we drafted Macklin,
And
T.O. was on his way to Buffalo.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Chip Kelly gets rid of LaShawn McCoy if that happens?
What?
If you had Terrell Owens on one side when Chip Kelly comes. I know it's.
I don't think any of those guys are here once Chip Kelly's here. First of all, T.O. was retired by the time we hired Chip Kelly.
Well.
And by the time we drafted Jimmy Macklin, T.O. was in Buffalo.
All right. Well, it would have been Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens was still in the league with Deshaun Jackson rookie year, but you would have still had D-Jack and Terrell Owens on both sides. With you would have had LaShawn McCoy. You would have still had LaShawn McCoy. So you would have had McCoy as your back. Just have 1 year. LaShawn McCoy is your back, okay? And by the way, we won the division that year. We won the division when we had LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson. We won the division. But you had Terrell Owens in the mix, dude. Oh my Lord.
Lethal.
Oh my
Lethal.
Lord. That would have.
Crazy.
That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. I would have loved to see
It
that.
would have been fun to watch. So much fun to
Dude,
watch.
that team might. I mean, like I said, we lost to. We lose to Saints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Off
was
a
the year.
freaking field goal.
Well, wasn't that the year Jeff Garcia ended up coming in as the quarterback because that was one of the years? Yeah, that was one of the years that Jeff. Didn't Donovan have a sports hernia surgery or something that year? That was one of the years that Jeff Garcia came in
and
as the
almost-
backup and helped lead us to the playoffs.
Are you talking about with Nick Foles? Saints era?
I'm talking about
No.
Nick.
The
No.
Nick Foles era?
You're talking about when we lost to the Saints in the second round of the playoffs. The year that
Lito Shepard killed Reggie Bush?
the year that Lito Shepard blew
Yeah,
up
with
Reggie
Deshaun-
Bush.
yeah.
But
That was a Jeff Garcia year.
But wait, dude, I'm trying to think. Deshaun Jackson, his first year, his first rookie year, he was in the league.
I believe
went
that
to
was the Cardinals year. That was the year that
That
we
was
lost
the
to
Cardinals year.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting at, the Cardinals year.
Because we
If
put
you
we
had
took
Because
Terrell-
Kevin Curtis was still here.
Yes. If
Ugh.
you had Terrell Owens with Deshaun Jackson, bro, I'm just saying that we didn't have LaShawn McCoy at the time.
No.
We drafted him the following
In
year.
2009,
LaShawn McCoy wasn't
right?
on that team. It was Westbrook. We had
Yeah.
Westbrook.
In 08, yeah. LaShawn McCoy
Yeah,
wasn't on
yes.
the team.
We had Jackson. We had Deshaun Jackson.
Kevin Curtis.
Take Kevin Curtis out of the mix. You had Terrell Owens.
In 08.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, you might go to the Super Bowl. You went to the NFC Championship game. You might
Not
go.
buying us going to the Super
No,
Bowl.
no, no.
but,
We
you know.
lost. We lost. Listen, we lost on the last drive. But
I
I'm
know,
saying,
still not buying us
if you had
because
Terrell
the
Owens,
definition of the definition of those teams during the final 5 year of Andy's run there was finding a way to lose games.
but listen,
we
but
found
listen,
a way to lose
we
games.
We beat the Cowboys 44-6 with Terrell Owens.
And then found a way to lose to them in the first round
No. Listen,
with Drew Bledsoe or whatever, wasn't it?
No, we went to the NFC Championship game, bro.
There was but my point is, remember the year we beat Dallas Week 17 to get to the playoffs, and we beat them like 40,
that was
we,
after. That was
we
after
beat
that.
them, and then the first round of the playoffs, we get our asses kicked by the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was 2013. That was 2011, bro. That was 2011.
Before that, because Donovan was still the quarterback at the time.
No, I'm saying that was 2011.
Donovan wasn't the quarterback here in 2011.
Yes, he was.
Listen, he was.
We
bro.
traded him in 2012.
He was.
No, it was the year before that.
Kelly's first year was 13. It was 2013.
Right.
Before that, it was 2011.
And Andy Reid had three.
That's when Donovan
Michael
started-
Vick was the quarterback in 2011.
Listen,
we traded Donovan after the 2010 season.
Listen,
and then Michael Vick had his big year in
listen,
2011.
2011, Donovan was playing electric guitar like
Donovan was not here in 2011. Look that one up, Sean.
Michael Vick came in for one play and threw a touchdown pass.
No,
to
that
Jerry
was
Maclin.
2010.
No.
Yes, Michael Vick's first year back was 2010, and Donovan was still the starter.
Listen,
the following year,
2011.
Kevin Cobb was supposed to be the starter, and he got the concussion week 1 against Green Bay, and Michael Vick came in with the big year and threw for like 3,300 yards. I'll pay you
Riley
money.
Cooper dropped the ball in the end
listen.
zone.
No, you listen. I know what I'm talking about here, Sean.
Eagles.
Riley Cooper dropped the ball in the end zone in the wild card game.
In 2011, Donovan was in
He
Washington.
should have been traded after that.
Michael Vick had his big year in 2011 because Donovan was no longer there.
So what year you're saying this?
2010 was Donovan's final year here. Then we traded him to Washington.
I'm talking about when
the following year
Donovan
was Michael
came
Vick's
out.
year.
Donovan came out. Eagles got rocked on their home on Dallas Cowboys home soil. Then
that was like
then
09.
everyone was making excuses.
Right.
Oh, they
that was 2009. That was the year after we lost to the Cardinals in the NFC title game.
but I'm talking okay. But 2008,
Right.
2008, we had
That's when
Deshaun
we
Jackson.
lost to the Cardinals.
We had Kevin Curtis. We had them.
So here you
know
go.
what I mean?
Look.
Okay.
2011, Michael Vick plays 13 games, throws for 3,300 yards. That was his big year. The year we lost to the Packers in the
Because
playoffs.
Riley Cooper dropped the ball in the end zone.
all right.
No, because Michael Vick made a stupid throw and
No,
underthrow him.
Riley
Riley
Cooper.
didn't drop it in the
No,
end
no,
zone.
no.
It was intercepted. The Packers
he
intercepted
should have
it.
made, made a play on the ball.
Listen.
Okay, well, he could have came
listen.
back and tried to
All
make a
right.
play, but the ball was poorly underthrown.
The game we lost
He
to
sucks.
the game we lost to the Dallas Cowboys 2 times in a row. They took
That
McNabb.
was 09.
They took McNabb out of the game.
That was 09 and 2010.
That was after when he had fear and he was playing the electric guitar coming out of the tunnel, and Michael Vick wanted to throw in his only touchdown of the game, and it was straight down to Jeremy Maclin.
Like,
It was
that was the year before.
It was a blown cover.
That was 2010.
Okay. But
And
what I'm saying,
remember then David Akers missed the 2 field goals. And,
well, I don't.
And
And
Andy Reid went all nuts
his kid was sick and all
right,
that
and
stuff.
Andy Reid went all crazy and cut David Akers and
No,
all that.
I got
was quoted as saying
and then
that Donovan
David,
always
and
be
then
his
David
quarterback.
Akers made a 63-yard field goal with the 49ers.
And Andy was quoted as saying, Donovan will always be my quarterback, and then like a month later he traded him to Washington.
No, I got that.
And then Kevin Cobb played
Right.
the first week.
But
got
I'm
injured.
saying,
Michael Vick came
if
in.
the Eagles went to the NFC Championship game, okay, they beat the Cowboys 44-6, right? They went to the NFC Championship game, and they wound up losing to the Cardinals. If you had Terrell Owens on the one side for that 1 year, and you had Deshaun Jackson on the other side, I think they go to the Super Bowl. I think they go, bro. Dude, they're in the NFC Championship game. You're going to tell me you got Terrell Owens to the mix on that?
This is why
instead of Kevin Curtis?
This is why I say we won't, though. This is why I say we won't. Because there was so many years that we were supposed to be a Super Bowl team and weren't. I can't count on those Eagles teams with Andy. That's why Andy was fired after 14 years. It wasn't because he wasn't winning. It wasn't because he wasn't successful. It's because we felt like 14 years is enough time. We haven't got over the hump.
And I agree with
we
that.
won't. So I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
We lost 4 NFC Championship games at home during that tenure. That's rough.
Listen, and I agree, okay, that it was time for Andy to go after 14 years. I understand that. I got it.
Could we have gone to the Super Bowl? Yeah.
What are the Eagles?
Would we have gone to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
What is Jeffrey Lurie doing now? He wants to go.
He's trying to repeat that whole level of success, which is a complete fantasy move.
Yes, he is.
Ralph, that's what you're excited about the new Madden, Ralph.
He's trying to go back to the roots.
Ralph, you're excited about the new Madden. That's what you do in Madden, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. I'm going to create fantasy. This is a fantasy idea that he's working up in his head. If I bring in a bunch of Andy Reid proteges and a bunch of Andy Reid disciples, that we're going to end up having the same type of success that we did back when Andy Reid was here for the next decade because it happened when Andy was here. That's fantasy bullcrap. That's not real life.
Nope.
That's what you do on Madden. You say, that makes sense. I'm going to hire this guy, and I'm going to manipulate the game, and I'll make this guy the head coach of this team because that just makes sense, and it's a fun opposite. It's fun. Jim Harbaugh, was the comeback player of the year for the Colts and nearly led them to a Super Bowl in 1995. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember
when Jim Harbaugh, the year
Yeah.
the Steelers went to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
the Hail Mary in the end zone that they didn't catch. That it was like, I thought he caught the ball. Remember, Jim Harbaugh was like, I thought he caught it, and he didn't get. And Jim Harbaugh was the comeback player of the year. It'd be fun. Let's name Jim Harbaugh the head coach of the Colts after Chuck Pagano gets fired because it's just fun, because it makes sense, because it's Madden. But that's not real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fantasy
That's
stuff.
like everyone wanted John Gruden to step down from his perfect
Right,
gig
exactly,
that he got.
exactly.
And let's bring in Chucky
Yeah.
for the Eagles head coach
Right.
when he don't want that job.
Right. Exactly. Like that would be everybody's, that would be everybody's fantasy.
Yo, and
let's bring in John Gruden. That'd be something you do in Madden.
all the Giants
but it's not
fans,
real
I know a
life.
lot of Giant fans, you know what they were all trying to tell me? They were all telling me how, the Giants' next quarterback's going to be Bill Cowher because Bill Cowher's related to, what's his name, Mara. He's related. He married
Bill
in the
Cowher
Mara.
wants nothing to do with
Bill
coaching.
Cowher married John Mara's daughter. So Bill Cowher, it makes sense. Bill Cowher's going to come back and coach the New York Giants. Well, did that happen, bro?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had to hear that. I had to hear that after Tom Coughlin was done. Here comes Bill Cowher, the savior of the New York Giants.
I actually think there's a better chance if John Gruden ever takes another coaching job. I think he becomes the head coach at the University of Tennessee. That's where he got his start. He was a graduate assistant at the University of Tennessee. He claims like that's his college program, like that's where his heart's at. He was quoted a year ago as saying that's his dream job. His dream job is
You
to
think
be.
he steps away from this job?
I think that's the only job that he would consider stepping down from ESPN.
Yeah, this
to
job
take.
he has now is.
I don't-
$7 million.
I don't think he steps down from ESPN to be an NFL head coach again.
$7 million.
I think the only thing that intrigues him, it's kind of like the Jim Harbaugh thing. What intrigued Jim Harbaugh about Michigan? He played there. He could be the savior. He could come in there and turn everything around, and he could be the guy that's considered the absolute savior of that program. He has full control, which Jim Harbaugh loves. So he was ready to. He was going to step down for the 49ers. The guy didn't even want to. He wasn't going to take another NFL job. You know what I mean? The guy was either going to step down from coaching, or he was going to take the Michigan job. There was no other alternative. And he decides to take the Michigan job for multiple reasons. I look at the Gruden situation. I think for him, that's the only thing that's intriguing to him. He's won at the NFL level. He's won a Super Bowl.
Obviously, Harbaugh is actually a good coach.
He is.
Because look what he was doing. Look what he was doing with the 49ers. And then
Well,
after he left,
Harbaugh's the perfect.
It just they completely.
Harbaugh's the perfect college coach because one, he wants full control of a program, and two, he's enough. He's enough of I don't give a crap about any of the other distractions, any of this. You can say this, you can say. He's focused on what he does.
Yeah.
He's enough of a lunatic in his own head, enough of a kind of a crazy person where
his recruiting was insane.
Yeah, he's not going to let any of the outside noise affect him. Like Nick Saban having the problem with all the satellite camps he holds. Okay, well then I guess there's a problem that I hold satellite camps.
Yeah.
Whatever. I win football games at the University of Michigan, and this is my job.
Yeah.
And remember he did it in San Francisco. Remember he used to make you laugh where the year that he replaced Alex Smith with Colin Kaepernick, and they went to the Super Bowl. And in the middle of the season,
He looked like a genius, bro.
well, in the middle of the season when the whole
He
thing,
did.
in the middle of the season when the whole thing was happening, because Alex Smith initially got injured, and then Alex Smith came back from injury, and they're like, well, who's your quarterback? He's like, well, he's like, Colin Kaepernick's my quarterback because, we've been winning with him and he's my quarterback. He's like, but at the same time, Alex is still our quarterback because, we were winning with him before. And they're like, so who's your quarterback? He's like, well, they're both my quarterback. They're like, no, you can't answer it that way. He's like, why? They're both my quarterback. I believe in both of them. He's like, and he's like,
but him pulling the string right there, what you just brought up, a good point about
like,
Colin Kaepernick. He looked like a genius, bro. When that all happened and all of a sudden they went to the Super Bowl, it's like, wow.
A guy from Nevada.
College sports is so corrupt. He's the perfect guy because head games, like, he's crazy enough, things aren't going to affect him mentally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's got the mental side of the college football thing down. You see these coaches that get burnt out at the college football level, and it's because of stuff like that, because of all the crazy sanctions that are all unfair. You're not any dirtier than this coach was, but because you got caught or whatever in some type of unflattering light, you get hit with the sanctions, and this coach doesn't. Urban
like
Meyer,
Ole Miss.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Ole
Ole Miss is in that situation at the moment. Like, come on. Larry Tunsil's not the only college football player to smoke weed with that, little apparatus that he had, and then a video like that get released. He's not the
Then
only.
he's asking coach for his money.
He's not the only player to have a coach pay his mommy and daddy's or pay his mama's light bills because his mama might lose power if they don't. He's not the only one.
I got news for you.
Happens everywhere.
90% of
especially in the SEC.
90% of the NFL love marijuana.
No kidding.
I got news for you.
No, hold on. I heard Sal Palantonio talk about this, and I doubt Sal Palantonio's at home lighting up a doobie and smoking a couple doobies after he's done with his ESPN duties for the night. John Clayton maybe. Remember the John Clayton commercial with him as the hippie and the Mom, I'm done with my segment, and then he's putting on the loud music. John Clayton maybe. Sal Palantonio, I don't think Sal Pal's going home, after he's doing his ESPN segment and he's lighting up a doobie. That's just not him, But Sal Palantonio was quoted as saying pretty much what you said, that, listen, marijuana, it's no secret. Everybody in the NFL smokes marijuana. Yeah. The only players that get caught are the stupid ones. So,
Josh Gordon.
So exactly, that was a point. Like, he's like, in a way, like your suspension, and when you get one of these suspensions, it's
Martavius Bryant.
It's less for you testing positive for something like marijuana, and more for, listen, it's so easy to pass our marijuana test. You're getting suspended because you were so dumb you couldn't even pass it.
They get tested twice in camp.
They don't
get tested. You know that they don't get tested in the regular season 2 times.
Let's
OTAs and camp, they test you.
Let's be honest. When you're a professional athlete, okay, that you go to GNC, for God's sakes.
Right.
They make 10 different supplements.
And it flushes you
that
out.
you could take that could flush your system of having marijuana.
Exactly.
When you're a professional athlete and you've got, first of all, we all see the products that somebody like J.J. Watt takes. You think these guys don't have access to a product like that?
We know they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is so easy for them to just sit there and take one of those supplements or mix multiple supplements
it's a
together
shame
to flush it out of their system. So if you're getting caught within your system, I don't feel bad for you.
Dude, all that talent Josh Gordon has. All that talent, and it's I mean,
he's
been out of league.
He didn't want to spend $10 at GNC.
It's nuts, bro. It's nuts.
He didn't want to spend that $10 to $15 at GNC to get a supplement to wash it out of his system.
Man. How about the report that Johnny Manziel came out saying that those two were living together? He's like, I'm currently living with Josh Gordon. Because remember when he had the hit and run incident, remember who it was that came and picked him up? Josh Gordon came and picked him up. So they're like, why was it Josh Gordon? He's like, no, remember initially he said that he was living with Von Miller.
Yeah. And Von Miller was like,
was like, no. He's like, he's not living with me. He's like, now I am on like older brother status with Johnny. He can call me at any point, and I'm a big brother to him. That's my Texas A&M buddy. You know what I mean? We both went to Texas A&M. He knows he's got my number. He can call me at any point, and I'll be a big brother to him. But no, he's not living with me. That's not true. And then like a week later, it came out that he was living with Josh Gordon. We're like, oh, this is why he's lying and saying he's living with Von Miller.
I saw like a tweet.
He's hanging out with guys like
I saw a
Josh Gordon.
tweet. He's rocking a Josh Gordon jersey.
Yeah. He is such an idiot.
He's such an idiot.
Dude, he's a legend.
You love him.
I love him.
He loves him.
You're an idiot too. You're a straight up idiot.
You see what his dad said?
His dad thinks he's going to end up dead or in jail.
I really
he said if I have to bury my son, I'll bury him. And then he posted a picture on Instagram of him in I think he was in the Bahamas. He had like #HiDad with like I think like a bottle of like Ciroc in his hand.
Well, his how about
He's such a legend.
I mean, we're all I know I'm real close with my dad. Sean, you just got off the phone with your dad during commercial break.
Yeah.
When your dad says, I'm afraid that my son's not going to make it to his next birthday, and you're doing stuff like that, posting a picture of yourself, hi, Dad, with a bottle of Ciroc on Instagram.
You just don't give a damn.
You're
you
just
have no respect.
First of all, you're a complete asshole.
You have no respect.
Let's be honest
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just a complete jackass.
Yo,
that's
he
lost.
ruined, dude. He was going. The teams were going to give him a chance to play in the NFL. Even the Browns. First
The
of all,
Cowboys were
going
gonna give him a
If the
chance.
Cleveland Browns cut you, you're an idiot. The Cleveland
man.
Browns, out of all teams, cut you. First of all, he couldn't even make it. He couldn't make a starting job.
You
at
know
the
what?
Browns,
I would
bro.
love to see him go play in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, here it is.
Because one, somebody would watch. If he went and played in the Canadian Football League,
Johnny Manziel, he's a legend, dude. I love him.
he probably borrowed that from Josh Gordon's closet. Let's
Yeah,
be
probably.
honest. He just took it out of Josh. Well, you're not going to need this anytime soon. I'm going to wear it to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they're like best friends. It really
Bro,
wouldn't
he's getting
surprise me.
tattoos on the plane.
I know. It's like so crazy.
He's a legend,
He's a mess.
dude. He's a
this kid is
legend.
lost.
He follows him. Like, he
I
loves
know.
him.
How about the chick that was supposed to go to like to Cabo or
And he
whatever?
beat her up?
No, well, yeah, that probably happened too. But there was the chick that was she had white powder substances in a couple bags and put it on Instagram off
this?
the Cabo.
You see what he put up to?
Off the Cabo.
Look at this.
Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel.
Yeah.
He's such a. I
Off,
love him.
off the Cabo, and she had like all these like what appeared to be cocaine in a couple of bags. And the report obviously was that Johnny was going to be in Cabo with her, and he was going to be snorting coke with her. And his dad obviously was like, "My son's a drug addict. It's no secret that he's a drug addict. You know, he's addicted to cocaine, and he's a problem." Him and John Bones Jones probably hang out together. Him, John Bones Jones, and Josh Gordon.
He ruined UFC
Oh,
200
man.
for
How
a
about-
lot of
How
people.
about that? Yo, that's like that would be like I want to hang out with them for a night in Vegas.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, Josh Gordon, and John Bones Jones. I want to hang out. I want to spend a night with them in Vegas. That's like the ultimate thing about it. Like, if you had to pick, you're like you got to make 3 athletes. Who's the 3 athletes that if you had to pick a night in Vegas to hang out with them, who's going to be your 3 athletes?
Oh man,
That's hard.
that's so good.
I'm
It's so
probably
hard.
going Johnny Manziel.
I'll probably pick Jeff
I'm not
Carter.
going with Johnny
Mike
Manziel.
Richards.
I'm going
Mike Richards.
Mike Richards.
Yo, I was in a bar with him down in Seattle.
I'm going Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel, Michael Jordan.
No, seriously, I was at he was at the OD last summer, bro.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was in the bathroom in the pissing in the stall, and he comes right next to me and piss. Michael Richards was in the bar.
He broke the bro code. He's pissing in the urinal next to you.
Yeah.
Did he try to start a
I was
conversation?
there first.
Did he try to start a conversation?
Nah, I wouldn't start one. Nah, but he was in the same bar. He was in the OD.
That happened to me. I was at a professional wrestling event. Mike Mataraki in Cincinnati, and me went to this wrestling event in Asbury Park. And afterwards, we're all I'm in the bathroom and I'm pissing in the urinal, and there's these 2 dudes in the urinal next to me crossing streams. Like I guess they're like they had to have been best friends because that's
What?
like, and they were clearly drunk. But, like, they had to be best friends. Like, I don't care, bro. I'll piss in the same urinal as you. I got to go so bad.
dude.
I don't care. And I was like, all right, like, y'all are clearly drunk, and this is kind of funny. But it's inappropriate. Like, I'm taking your guy code for crossing streams. But then they've got the nerve to sit here and talk crap about anybody that walks up. They're like, somebody will walk up, and they're, like, making, like, little penis jokes and stuff. They're like, it's like, oh, Lily, you got a little you know what. And I was like, I'm waiting for somebody to, like, just turn on it and be like, well, that's not what your sister said and this
Yeah.
and that. I'm losing it. These guys are harassing everybody as I walk in. I took a piss at the urinal next to him and left. But I'm like, those guys are, like, waiting for a fight. Like, they're going to say something. Somebody's going to mouth off and be like, well, that's not what your sister says or something. There's going to be a fist fight. Yeah, that happened to me at an event in Asbury Park.
Johnny Manziel's a legend. He's such,
Jesus.
what's wrong with him?
Johnny Manziel, Michael Jordan, John Bones Jones. That's my 3 that I'm hanging out with in
He
Vegas for a
ruined
day.
UFC 200.
Who?
Just tell John Bones Jones.
Well, you know.
He ruined it for a lot of people. He ruined it for me. And he has the nerve to cry at a press conference. Come on now. Oh, my God.
I love John Bones Jones. His brother plays, Chandler Jones is his brother, plays for the Patriots.
Yeah.
He's got 2 brothers in the NFL. That's how freaky of an athlete he is.
Yeah.
Think about why he was so dominant in the UFC. He's
Yeah.
got, like, you look at the freaky family that you come from. You got a brother that's a defensive end in the NFL and another brother that's in the NFL that's not quite as good. But you got 2 NFL brothers and you're a UFC fan.
Gronkowski's like that. There's a bunch of Gronkowskis.
Yeah, I know. Like all the Gronk brothers are a bunch
Yeah.
of freaks, right?
Yeah, one's
Yeah.
a fullback.
Bunch of robotic freaks.
Yeah, he just got drafted.
Yeah, this year.
They're
Yeah.
bionic. They're
Yeah.
not even human.
But yo,
Yeah,
Rob Gronkowski.
I think
dude.
Rob Gronkowski and Michael Phelps. You ever look at 2 of them? You ever look at them both and be like, y'all are kind of like, I don't know, like, 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 like I call it, I have Asperger's syndrome. You know, anybody that's educated with it, and like Einstein, it was rumored that he had it. You know, it's one of those like autisms that like makes you it's an extremely high functioning sort. And like Einstein was a genius, and that was one of the rumors why they thought he had it, because he was a genius and it made sense. You look at a guy like Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps has actually talked about it, that he was one of those kids growing up, that was diagnosed with stuff like that, and grew up, the ADHD kid, the autism kid, and you could just look at his face and you could tell, when he smiles, and it's like, dude, like you've got way too many teeth to fit in your mouth. Like, what is wrong with your mouth? Like, you know what I mean? Hunter Pence is another one. Like, I look at athletes like that, and like I love athletes like that, because what's the recurring theme? Rob Gronkowski, Michael Phelps, they're all freaks, right? They're just these freakish athletes. Yeah. Like Gronkowski's like a robot. Michael Phelps is about to win a gold medal. It's his 5th Olympic Games. No other athlete has ever won, a gold medal in 5 different Olympic Games. And Michael Phelps is about to go do that. And I know it's swimming.
And he loves.
He does.
He loves it.
And Usain Bolt does the same thing too.
And he just invested. He just invested in a bunch of like these companies that are like using medical marijuana, and like these pharmaceutical companies that are producing marijuana.
I mean, remember they made a big deal about it when he got caught?
Right, and that's why it's no secret now, and he doesn't hide from it. But these pharmaceutical companies, that are trying to use marijuana as ways to create medicine.
Usain Bolt does it before every race.
He's invested in like 3 different like pharmaceutical companies that are like using marijuana as like a medical form of treatment down in Arizona.
I don't know why
just 3 different companies.
America as a whole just makes marijuana just
Dude, he
illegal.
lives in Colorado Springs, Colorado year round. Like he's
Free.
like he's not there
Free
smoking
marijuana
doobas.
at your doorstep.
Like, come on.
Doorstep, whatever you want.
But I know he's a swimmer, but my point is, the guy's a freakish athlete. That's why he won 8 Olympic gold medals in a single Olympics. Yeah. Because there's no other swimmer that competes against him that's as much of a freakish athlete as he is. He's a freak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like Gronkowski's a freak. Or Hunter Pence is a freak. You ever remember when Hunter Pence was with the Phillies? You watch Hunter Pence hit? You're like, this guy, like, it looks like he's pulling off of
Why
everything.
we traded him was...
It's the most awkward-looking thing
Should
ever.
never gave him away.
Right? It's like the most awkward-looking thing ever, yet he hits a ball 450 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's these recurring themes with these guys.
It's crazy.
Bunch of physical freaks.
Insane. It's really insane. I don't know why America just doesn't make marijuana legal to everybody.
Well,
instead of flying out to Colorado and getting
it's heading that way. It's headed that way. Come on. I mean, you see the trends.
Yeah.
Right.
The U.S. public, for the first time, the majority of the U.S. public thinks it should be legalized. It's headed that way.
More people in 40 years are smoking more marijuana than they are cigarettes.
Marijuana in 40 years is going to be something that's going to be looked at as like
cigarettes.
One of those things is meditation. You know what I mean? Like a way to
in
like.
San Diego, you can go buy like in a store.
Yeah, I know in California
you go buy.
When I was out in
but
Vegas,
you need a
medical ID.
A medical ID. Yeah.
You can get out of a vendor.
No, not a medical ID.
License.
No,
you need a card.
It's a card. You need a card to go up there.
I was out in Vegas, and they've got the medical dispensaries there. But I'll tell you straight up how these things work. I heard Tony Bruno talk about it, of all people. Tony Bruno, who obviously spent a lot of time out of Los Angeles, had his national syndicated show out there for a lot of years. And he talked about it. Now, anybody that's heard Tony Bruno, it wouldn't surprise me if Tony Bruno was smoking some doobies back in the day when he was doing his national syndicated show in L.A. But Tony Bruno, apparently talked about when you can walk into one of these dispensaries, there's like a list of like 30 things on the wall. If you've got one of these 30 symptoms, then you can get, a prescription from the dispensary, from the clinic, and they'll let you, and they'll give you medical marijuana right there. Right. And the things are like anxiety, like stress. It's like things that we all deal with in our everyday life. Like, who doesn't have one of those 30 things?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I have anxiety sometimes. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's so easy to get it in one of those clinics out in a place like that. They make it so easy. Mm-hmm. Like, all you need is a card, but, like, it's impossible for you to go into one of those things
it's like guns,
and not have
bro.
one of those symptoms.
It's like guns.
It's easier to get it than guns.
I'm just saying, it's a comparison. You can still get a gun anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Man. San Diego, you were out there. How hot was it?
In between, I would say 73 to I would say 73 to 83, bro. In that range.
It was 110 degrees in Las Vegas.
Yeah, 73
and it
to
felt
83.
like 130.
In that range.
I walked out onto the strip the first day. I felt like I was walking in hell.
Jeez.
I was like, I always knew I'd end up in hell, but I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I was like, Jesus.
Is it like East Coast hot?
Oh no, it's terrible.
No,
it's
San
terrible.
Diego's unbelievable.
It's a dry heat. You don't.
Oh
Like,
yeah, my
it's
buddy. When I got one of my
110.
buddies that live in Arizona. He said it was
Yeah.
got up to 110 in Arizona. He said it's
The
like sticking your
humidity is
face.
so
It's like
crazy.
preheating your oven
Yeah.
and then sticking your face in the oven.
Exactly. Like, have you ever cooked on the grill in like 100-degree heat?
Yeah.
And you open it up and you're like, oh my God, it's so terrible. That's what it is, just like nonstop.
crazy,
It's
bro.
nonstop. And I was waiting until night finally to go out on the strip because it was at least cooling off enough, because it was just so terrible.
Yeah.
We had heavy rains there the one day. They get just over 4 inches of rain for an entire year. We got 1.8 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. The whole city was
Did you
flooded.
go visit the Hoover Dam?
We didn't. No, we flew over it in the plane. But those tours and stuff there. That
Yeah,
you-
I went
There's
there.
tours that can take you to the Hoover Dam and the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon and
Yeah.
things like that. But I was more interested in walking around the strip trying to get ass, and that was my plan for the week. So
Whatever. Gotta do
it'll
what you gotta
remain
do.
anonymous why there was problems on that end. A certain roommate of mine, was putting the old C block on me,
Oh, jeez.
and he'll remain anonymous because he does work for this station. His initials are FV. And he's usually on the show that comes on after the rundown. That's not here today. Yes. Mr. He's your colleague for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I hope he works with you. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Frank Vespi. Oh, wait, I forgot. That's why I wasn't going to mention his name. We're going to take the final break on the rundown on A2DRadio.com. At some point, I swear, we're going to get into Ben Simmons, probably when we come back. This is the rundown on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
This is Het, your dude with the tunes from A to Z Classic Rock. When I'm hungry and in the mood for pizza or killer sandwich, I head to Legends Tap, located at 318 High Street, Burlington, New Jersey. Pleasant atmosphere, delicious pizza, kickin' sandwiches, great iced tea, soda, or if you prefer an adult beverage, they have that also. 318 High Street, Burlington, New Jersey, Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware.
Hey, if you're interested in buying, selling, or renting a house, call Kingsgate Realty at 856-931-1200. Ask for Patrick Bokikio or visit their website at kingsgatere.com, located at 57 West Kings Highway, Mount Ephraim, New Jersey.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. With over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
Back on the rundown on A2DRadio.com. Almost out of time here. Couple minutes left. We'll talk Ben Simmons since NBA Summer League is underway. And is it just me, or has the NBA Summer League gotten a little bit more hype?
I would tell you this: the most underrated player in this year's Summer League, Chris Dunn. Most
Dunn has been lighting it
underrated
up.
player. The Boston Celtics missed him
been
on
lighting it
draft
up.
night.
He has
missed
been
him on
lighting it
draft
up.
night. 27 points. 27 points.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He has been lighting it up.
His first summer league game had 27 points. His third summer league game had 27
But if you're going to
points.
say
I'll tell
that,
you what.
I don't care if it's summer league or not. The guy's balling. The kid's
No,
balling,
he,
man.
He was
So underrated.
He had a highlight reel that was like a 3-minute highlight reel just from the one game the other day in summer league. He was crossing
So
people up.
underrated.
It was dirty.
Yeah, you remember this?
The
Here's
Boston Celtics
you're-
missed him.
He's reminding me something right now. Do you remember it was the first game as a 76er was against the Miami Heat opening game.
Who, Michael Carter Williams?
Michael Carter Williams had 22 points, 8 steals, 11 rebounds.
And almost dunked on LeBron.
Oh, but what I'm saying is Michael Carter Williams got Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But that first game ever in the NBA as a pro.
Yeah.
He did it against the Miami Heat.
I'll tell you what.
The team that won the championship.
I'll tell you what.
2011.
I was watching this one Sixers game, the Sixers-Lakers game, obviously. Ben Simmons and his court vision, some of the passes he made in that game were just absolutely filthy. And would you stop it? Would you stop it?
You're just jealous.
Absolutely filthy. Now
He's
listen,
jealous.
Ingram's a nice player. Ingram's going to score, but Ingram is never, and this is why Simmons was the top pick. Ingram will never, ever go to the level where he's an all-around player that Ben Simmons is.
We'll say.
Ingram's going to average 20-plus a game because he can absolutely flat-out shoot.
Oh, yeah.
He'll average 20, 22, 23, 24 a game just because he can shoot the ball.
You see that hesitation?
But he's
That's
not.
hesitation
Simmons got
move?
Rondo vision, too.
Simmons is.
He got Rondo
It's
vision.
better than Rondo. I mean, we were making the Magic Johnson, and I was telling all the analysts and experts saying he's like Magic. He's the closest thing. And Magic saying he's the closest thing I've seen to myself since I played the game. That's no joke. His vision is absolutely 100%
and you want to know something?
for real.
You want to know something?
You can teach a good jump
And you want to
shot.
know something? If Simmons could have came out last year instead of being in high school, could have came out last year, he would have been the first overall draft pick
To the
last
Minnesota
year.
Timberwolves.
And if the
I'm just
Sixers
saying,
had,
he would have been.
if the Sixers had anybody that could shoot, you saw the one pass in that Lakers game. I don't remember who it was that was wide open out on the elbow, the left elbow for 3, and he clanked it off the front iron after Simmons found him with a beautiful pass. I was like, really? It's like, this is why you're not even gonna make the roster. Like, if we had anybody that could just shoot on this Sixers team, if Saric was here at the moment, the kid might average like 15 assists this year. He'd have like Rondo type assist numbers.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, oh, well, he can't shoot.
Speaking
like,
of
who cares
Sarge,
when he's averaging 15 assists?
Speaking of Sarge, is saying he's supposed to sign this week.
He is. He'll be here next year. He'll be here. Absolutely. He's
Like
going to be here for
this
the
season coming up.
This upcoming season, he'll be here.
Oh.
You know, I think Simmons could average like 15 and 12 a game. Like, that's really what I'm looking at. Simmons averaged like 15 points, 12 rebounds.
Yeah,
That's filthy.
Yeah, I think we're going to be a 7 seed this year, bro.
Well, that's a
I
question
think
that I
so.
want to ask going forward. Maybe next week. Well, not next week because obviously I won't be here. I'll be in Virginia. You know, so Rundown might go on. It might not have to wait and see about it. But definitely come the start of August and we get the Rundown up and going again, that might be one of the questions we have to ask.
Yeah.
How many games do the Sixers win this year? Are they a playoff team in the Eastern Conference? Because I agree with you. I actually think they could compete for a playoff spot. I don't think it's out of the question. There's maybe 4 or 5 teams in the Eastern Conference that are talented and good enough. Yeah, I think they could compete for a playoff spot. It's been the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. Ralph Delavecchio, Sean Watson, Zach Barrett, Tom Arnone. We thank Tommy for sticking around to produce earlier at the start of the show. It's Mr. Sinsuni's birthday, so he was off, and he's at home. Hopefully he's listening. Knowing him, he's probably sleeping, so I doubt he's listening. But it's been fun. Like I said, next week, still up in the air whether the Rundown will happen or not. We've been brought to you by BMW of Atlantic City. Go to BMW of Atlantic City, just off the Black Horse Pike, off of exit 37 in Egg Harbor Township, BMW of Atlantic City. You can right now purchase a certified or lease a certified pre-owned Elite 2016 BMW 320iX Drive, just $299 a month for 36 months. Take care, everybody.
Hi, this is Benson Sudi of the Hockey Happy Hour. And if I want a night out in the town, but I don't want to miss the Flyers,